everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun, and I'm here with none other than Kelley. Kelley JANOME, everyone. Kelley JANOME! Yay! Introduce yourself. You don't need to be introduced. They totally know you, but introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Kelley McKenzie, and I am the long arm specialist at JANOME America, and I am a passionate quilter.
She's been rehearsing that all morning. I'm like, wait, what's that cord coming from? We have the camera plugged in. So, in our last episode, here at, wait, we should call this the
McKenzie Palace, the McKenzie.
Well, okay, someone thinks a lot about herself. Well, I was in like the, something about like, the Kelley, I don't know. I can't think of something. But like the 2 days, we're just filming a lot of video. We're filming a lot of content for y'all. You're going to see some of it over on the JANOME page. You'll see some of it here. You're going to see us live tomorrow, but you don't know this because it's not really tomorrow, because tomorrow was like a month ago when this video actually comes out. So, but we're doing it live from the house. If you haven't checked it out, I don't know which one's going to come up, but Kelley taught us how to do this with couching. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. This will be over on the JANOME page. Make sure you follow or you join the JANOME Facebook group, JANOME Long Arm Quilters Facebook group.
JANOME Long Arm Users
Facebook group. Also just the JANOME Facebook group, and you'll see that because we did a few videos on that. But today, or in the last episode, we did this, what do we call it? Easy Baby! So this is the Easy Baby quilt. It's a pattern that I got from Sew Into Quilts in Hutchinson, Kansas. It was a whole kit. Super cute. We made it in 30 minutes max, and that was with the filming time. So if I was doing this at home, 10 minutes probably, honestly. Maybe 15 with loading. Yeah. And it was just super fast. It's all stitch and flip. We use the square feet, so we got nice straight edges. If you have Pro Stitcher, you can use your channel locks with the square feet. If you don't have Pro Stitcher, you have that square foot to keep things nice and straight. But it's just stitch and flip strips. Check out Sew Into Quilts, and that's SEWIN2, the number 2 quilts.com. We'll link them in the description below too. But yeah, so this is one of their Easy Baby quilts. It's the Monster Kit. So what are we doing now? We're quilting it, of course, because we're long arm quilters. Kelley's just here to be cute. But I'm going to teach you a new way to advance that quilt. We know the needle down method, which I think is the most accurate. I also think it's the easiest. Don't make that face. It's the most accurate. I'm not going to argue about this.
Okay.
I did this. I had the same discussion with Mickey. Let me tell you why it's the most accurate. It's the most accurate. It's the most accurate because as this moves, everything's moving together. Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
So if you're doing crosshatch, you're not going to do that this way. We're going to make another video for that. But if you're doing anything that has to touch, clamshells, things like that, you're going to get the most accuracy by needle down. So if I do whole cloths with a lot of stuff, I'm going to needle down. But normally, we just do what we call drag and drop. They're all going to use drag and drop, kind of, except for this one. So we do the non-needle down drag and drop, advancing the quilt, drag and drop. I have a video for it. But this is a totally different way. This is how Mickey does it. And we were teaching together one time, and I said, hey, you need to teach me how to do that. And I said, actually, teach the class. I'll learn with them. And I was just kind of shocked. So we've stitched the top of this quilt. We're using gray thread, so it's going to blend in really nice. You're probably not going to see it, but we'll bring you close so you can. This is going to work best if you have a start point at the bottom of your row, because we are going to reposition these using our start points instead of using our anything else. We're just going to reposition them using the start point. It makes it very easy. I hope we can see. We can. We didn't cut the threads off. So I'm going to bring you close, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, so here we are at the machine. This is where where it ended. I already cut the thread, but I put the needle back down just in case. So I'm going to bring my needle up, move my machine over, and we're going to look at the screen, because you know me, we got to see what's going on. So here we are, long jump pause, everything's good. I'm going to exit out the long jump pause just so you can see a little bit better, but you don't have to do that. And now I'm going to advance the quilt. I'm not going to touch or move the screen at all. I'm just going to advance the quilt, and we'll take care of all the moving next. You'll be able to see. Let me turn these lights off.
I think it was better on.
Now you can see the quilting.
Okay. Oh.
It's all about light management. Yeah, so now you can see the quilting. I'm going to advance as if I were advancing this like normal. So here we go. And there you go. Oops. I was told by Kelley that I pull the quilts too tight. I just want to be able to get to my start point. That's the important thing with this this way of advancing. Coming back up to my screen, bring my machine. So now I can see my master start point. It's always the circle with the green X, right? I can see where it's going to end over here, my little red dot. I can see where it's going to start for the next rows. So what I want to do is I want to take my crosshairs. Remember, crosshairs represent where that needle is, so they're going to move as my machine moves. I'm going to take my crosshairs over to where we started originally. There we go. So, oops, my camera continues to move sometimes when I stop. So, needle is where the crosshairs are, right? Right there. We have the laser light. That's why we love the Quiltmaker Pro 20. It has a laser light. Do any of your other ones have a laser light?
No, but you can attach an external laser light to any of our other machines.
You can. And since I'm Adam So Fun and I'm always truthful with you, I've heard mixed reviews. Some people love it and some people do not.
That's because they have to make sure they're aligning it perfectly. And there's a trick to that, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just. I always let people know because
you're
it's an
absolutely
expensive
correct.
accessory.
Yes, it is.
So if you asked me if I was in a booth, I would tell you that same thing. But yes, people. A lot of people really love it. I guess there's always a few that don't, right?
But you know what? That's the perfect reason for them to upgrade their machine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and the adjustable handlebars and the tie out button. I mean, the laser light and the tie out button for everything. So. We are outside of our area. We're outside of everything. And that's okay. That's what we're looking for. Because we know that we put those crosshairs, and I'm going to zoom into the crosshairs. We know that we put those crosshairs right on where we originally started. I can see my start point is there. So what I want to do is I want to go to my Pro Stitcher tab. I'm going to go to New Start End. And one thing you didn't see, Kelley's timing was off, and she is a master smith, master long arm smith. She can adjust timing. I couldn't, but I hit a ruler, and now her timing was off. So she went in and fixed it. So we noticed it was had some skipping stitches, so she fixed it. But we had already stitched a little bit. So my start point is not at the very beginning. So I'm just going to put this back to 0 because that's where we're starting.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Glad you did that.
So now, this is how easy this method is. We're going to go to Modify, Reposition, Start Point. And now I've moved everything up to where that first row started. I'm still going to do my checks. I'm always going to do my checks. I want to make sure things are good. So my first thing to do is I'm going to do my checks. We are going to move the machine over. And this is a circle design that happens to have some pretty good circle marks in it. So let's see, we're going to zoom in. And you're going to see that I'm at this intersection where the circle and there's a line that kind of comes into the circle right there. I'm at that intersection where the line and the circle meet. And bing, bang, boom, it's perfect. And if I tilt you down, you can see that I'm in that same spot. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to come over here, somewhere off to the right. I don't even know where that's pointing at. Tell me when you can see me.
Okay. Go a little bit further. Yeah, right there, that little one.
Can you see
Nope,
me here?
I can't see you there. You're going to have to do that
just
one.
put it right here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do there. I'm going to look at my screen. I did look at my screen, and everything's perfect. So I always run a check. I'm going to do one on the left, one in the center, one in the right. This is with the fabric, so I already know it's good. So my checks are good. I'm going to pop you over here, and we're going to make it tall, nice and tall, and see our screen, because I can bring my screen to you. So now I know that I've moved this. We can tell that I've moved it because I'm outside that area box. Once you've set up your edge to edge design, that area box is obsolete. You don't have to have it. The next thing I want to do is I need to move the start point or it's going to restitch that first row. Pro Stitcher tab, new start end. I'm going to come down here to my jumps. You might have umps or ump. That just means your side is squished. I keep mine, I have umps at home. I keep mine squished. I'd rather have more workspace than the sidebar, so I'm just gonna mark down, and now it's gonna go down a stitch on that next row. Another thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run my checks to make sure I'm not gonna add any bars, bring my machine all the way towards me, make sure my horizontal orange line is living under that row. I'm gonna push my machine away and make sure the horizontal orange line can go higher than that row, and now I know that row fits. And now I get a stitch row 2. Very, very, very easy. So now I'm going to stitch this, and I want to show you one more thing at the end of this row, because right now we're working with a design that has that start point at the bottom, but what if that start point's on the top? We'll talk about that when we come back. All right, guys, so we're back. My head is probably huge in this because you're very close to us. We are back. Me and Kelley are switching sides. That actually works well. So we're back for the third time. And we're going to pretend I'm doing the same design. Nothing's changed. So my start point is still on the bottom, but we're going to pretend that it's on the top. Because I need to pretend and show you what you would do if it was on the top. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to come right here. Kelley, can you do, so this button zooms in. I'm going to hit cancel. You don't need to do this. I'm going to hit cancel to get rid of my area. And I can't do that with that on. So I'm going to go to cancel and I'm going to clear my area. The clear button is over here on the side now. They moved it so they can confuse us. And let's zoom into row 1 and 2. So we're going to pretend I did row 1. We all did that together. We advanced using the start point for row 2. That was easy. Reposition start point. There's nothing hard with that. Now we're going to pretend, and I'm going to zoom into right here, that is not the start point. We're going to pretend that this point right here, where the bubble and everything come into place, we're going to pretend that that's the start point right here. So what I want to do is I want to take my machine to where that point is going to start next. So I'm going to bring my crosshairs on my screen to that point. Kelley's going to zoom out so you don't get dizzy. And we're going to come over here. I have all of these threads because we have not been trimming. Remember, do what your teacher says, not what they do, and they say to trim your threads. And I'm looking at my screen. Can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to take that crosshair to here. And if you need to move that, if you need to move the camera to get the screen easier, that's fine.
I think they can see it, but I'm going to, just in case they don't see it very well. Okay.
And remember, we're pretending, we're kids again, we have imagination. I'm pretending that that is where my start point is. I have the beautiful laser light on my machine. If you don't, you still have a way to see where your needle's going to go down.
Do you want me to show them that?
Yeah, you can. You don't have a pencil in here. But you do have a straight pen.
You really, even though I zoom in, you really can't see.
No. It doesn't always pick up the laser. All right, so I can see where that is going in, right? So I'm gonna grab a pen and just kind of eyeball and like know where that is. If I had a marking pen, like a blue water soluble pen or something, I would just pop a dot right there. I'm just gonna eyeball and say this is where it was. So this is now marking my spot where this straight pin went in. Can you see the straight pin?
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm gonna advance. We don't have side clamps on, don't be us. Put your side clamps on. Now I'm going to advance. I can't even see where that straight pin is.
You want me to help?
Do you see where it is? Oh, I see it.
It's right here.
Did it stitch that far down?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, we're good. Perfect.
Okay.
So now, if this were the start point, I'm going to come here and I am going to modify.
Wait, you want me to go?
Oh, yep, yes, let's do that.
Okay.
I'm coming to my screen, hitting modify, reposition, start point. And it's going to move it. Now that is not the start point, so that would not work for this. This is if your start point is at the top of your row instead of the bottom. Some people actually do it this way, and if they have a start point that's at the top, they'll flip that design before they stitch it. Now that's great if it were circles, that would work, but if you are doing something that is little monsters, little chicks, that is directional, and you flip it, then it's going to flip everything else. You don't have to see me. I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think you could. So in this case, we didn't change where that start point was, right? And I want to continue to stitch this. So I'm going to go to where my last start point was. There we are. And I'm going to reposition start point. So now I should be on the beginning of row 2, where I started row 2. I'm going to run my checks just as normal. Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, fantastic, amazing. And now what's that next step? We want to flip Pro Stitcher, new start end, and we want to move that start point down so we know we're stitching the next row. I'm going to make sure it fits in my throat. Yes and yes. And now I'm going to the cleaners and I'm going to stitch this next row. So that is how to reposition and advance your quilt using your reposition start point. Super easy. Times I wouldn't use this. I'm going to use this anytime I have a design where there is a buffer zone between my 2 rows. Kelley's getting very camera happy behind the camera. I'm like over here giggling. So I'm going to use this anytime I have a buffer zone. I love designs that have a buffer zone, and I'm calling a buffer zone when between row 1 and row 2 I have at least a 1/4 inch. Because then if something is a little bit off, who cares? Nobody's going to know. You're going to know if you check it, but nobody's going to be able to tell that it's off because there's space there. If I'm doing clamshells, not going to do it like this. I'm going to do needle down. Honestly, most of the time I'm going to do drag and drop the way that I do it just because that's my go-to method. But anytime you have to be super, super accurate, probably not going to do it this way just because I want to make sure that everything moves together. So I'm going to finish quilting this out. I think you get the gist of it. Again, you know how to get a hold of me. Send me a message, shoot me an email, AdamSoFun. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at AdamSoFun with an SEW. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when new videos drop. Kelley, come back to the front of the screen and remind everyone where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook as Kelley Chain McKenzie, and and also on Instagram as Kelley SEW, Kelley So.
I gave her that name. I did it. But yeah, so we're going to go off. We're going to finish this. We're going to start making some other videos, so we got to get this one done so we can get those done. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, at the end of the day, it's what?
It's just a quilt.
Well, just quilting, but we'll take it. I'll take it. Bye, guys.